Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, Battle for Azeroth Beta begins as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. Everybody, and welcome from the Battlenet News broadcast bunker in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is April 24th, 2018, and it is now 9:11 in the p.m., and that is Central Time. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe. It's going to be a fun night. Talking a lot about Battle for Azeroth Beta. Oh, so good. But first, we got to get to our players. And I will start them off thusly. From Lords of the Storm, a podcast about Heroes of the Storm, it's Gizmo!
Hey, Pat, have you ever wondered what's in the middle of a Shark-Crane sandwich?
A Shark-Crane sandwich. What?
It's a Gizmo.
Oh, yeah, it is a Gizmo. Because... Yeah. It'll happen here in a second on the video. You'll see it on the video side in just a second, but it's a little early yet because we don't have it. Because we haven't brought in our other player from Merely a Setback, the podcast about the stories of Warcraft and beyond. It is Sharku.
It's actually a Pat Koo sandwich.
A Pat Koo.
Not a Shark Crane.
Well, Shark Crane the other way.
Yeah. Well, it's an inverted.
A shark crane is kind of like a Sharknado, except it's a little bit larger. It's a hurricane. Yep. It's a hurricane of sharks. It's a hurricane of sharks.
I think it's a color in one of those large Crayola sets.
A shark crane? Yeah.
That sounds right.
It's close to chartreuse.
Yeah. The kind with the little crayon sharpener on the back.
No, you have to have the 64 or the 128. I can't remember which one has the sharpener. So
yeah.
Yes. So welcome everybody. Welcome fellas, and welcome Twitch chat, and welcome to all you guys in your car or at work, or unfortunately if you're at work, we're going to be talking a lot of beta, so it's probably going to be kind of distracting. Not gonna lie. We have so much to talk about, but I do want to get a sense of what you guys are doing in game to see if we have missed anything along the way. And I will start with Shark. What is going on in your game world?
Well, it's not playing the beta, not because I don't have it, because I've had the alpha for a while now. Yeah. But every time I log on, the servers are down. And I know the servers aren't down that much. It's just when I'm able to log on, the servers are down. So I still haven't played alpha or beta, and it's killing me from the inside out.
Well, I don't know what's going on with that, but you're not. I mean, you haven't missed out on much until very recently. I mean, in the last week or two, things have been going off. I mean, like they've been testing a lot.
I know we're going to talk about it a little bit in a minute, but I know Dark Iron Dwarves are out now, and that's all I want to do. I want to play a Dark Iron Dwarf.
They are so amazing.
And all the dungeons, and I'm ready for beta build. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see a working game.
Right?
Can you do it? Is it going to happen?
I was in it earlier today, so
and it was working.
It was working. It was working. So it does happen, Shark, just not when you are approaching your computer. They say,
what I'm doing.
They say, Shark's coming, shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down now. All right.
Shut it down.
Gizmo, how about you? What's going on with you?
Oh, this last week has been a little rough for my gaming time. But with the time I've had, I've been telling many people stories in Heroes of the Storm.
Yep.
And it just puts them to sleep. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I am excited that the beta has started because we got a lot of cool stuff coming that I want to check out. So
yes, we do. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been playing a lot of Overwatch as well, especially when you talk about the archives, right? I was actually playing the archives where you can play the PvE versions of both of the things that are going on right now. I can't even remember their names. It's fine. Retribution and what's the original one?
Starts with a.
I can't remember it now.
A C?
I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I was playing. I was playing the. Oh yeah, Uprising, of course.
Is that right?
Yes, it is because Boston. I don't know. Anyway, so I was playing Retribution as any characters, right? And it starts you off with 4 players, and you just are supposed to play it, right? And it was me. I was playing as Junkrat, and then another person was playing as Moira, and then the other 2 people left.
Ooh.
After a minute. And there were no people coming into the instance with us. Nope. Just left us alone. And we had to finish it with just 2 people. Thankfully, we were on normal because I was just going for my next loot box. I'm like, nope. I don't want any questions. I just want my next loot box. Right at the mark. I wasn't screwing around. So we ended up finishing it. But even on normal with 2 people, it's a little dicey.
Yeah, you're lucky you had Moira with you because she tears those things apart. That's who I played in both of mine. So
Junkrat does too. Definitely. So it's very nice to have DPS and a little bit of a heal anyway. Especially when the assassin is like pinning you down and trying to cut off your head. Yeah.
I actually, so I did spend some time in Overwatch this week. I went and started my 6v6 elimination placements.
Oh, yeah,
since they have that competitive mode going.
Yeah.
I'm only 6 through, but I've played 9 games. 3 of them exited because as soon as somebody died, they left the game. So then it just canceled. And it's like, oh, come on, guys. But it's a fun game mode. Like I'm still super glad they're doing that competitive. I wish it was going to be up longer, but
it is a fun mode. I'm just not sure if I'm really cut out for it. I mean, it's weird going in without a team because it doesn't feel. I mean, I know that it's team mode and you're supposed to like treat everybody, but it doesn't feel the same as if you were to go in with your friends and tear it up, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just I like off.
The aspect I enjoy the most. I think the biggest strategy part is when to use and what tanks you're using. Because typically when you're playing through it, it's 2 tank, 2 support, 2 assassin, except lately in Overwatch League. Right. And if you do that and you win, you would have used all the tanks, I believe. So sometimes are you wanting to do 1 tank because not all of them are that great? What are you wanting to pair up a strong one with a weak one? So I kind of like that juggling aspect. And I don't play tank very often normally, but I've been playing it a lot in the elimination.
We were on the 3rd game and I was running out of heroes because everybody was wanting to play all the different heroes, right? So I was like, well, we kind of need a healer. And so I grabbed Zen because Zenyatta was available and I didn't know the other ones well enough. And I barely know Zen, right? So I grabbed him and I was playing him and I was the last one left on the team. And what ends up happening is when you're the last one on the team is everybody is looking through your eyes. Everybody on your team is looking through your eyes. And there were 3 people telling me that I was garbage on Zen. And I'm like, I know. I don't play Zen. So, but I didn't have my mic hooked up, so I was just like having to take it.
Yeah.
That's the worst. It's the worst. Oh,
you're going to take it and you're going to like it.
I guess. All right. Well, we need to get onto the news because I know that hey, before we actually head onto the news, I have one little announcement. If you are in the Minnesota area and you would like to get together for a little mini Minnesota meetup, we're doing another one, and we're doing one for the Stage 3 finals of the OWL. So Stage 3 finals, May 6th. We have it. I know that we have it on our Twitter. I'll make sure that it's out again on Twitter when this show goes live. on Tuesday. But it's going to be May 6th, and it's going to be in Roseville, Minnesota. We've held meetups there before, and I'll make sure to have it out on Twitter, but it's also on our Facebook and all that kind of stuff. So May 6th, Overwatch League mini Minnesota meetup. It should be a good time. So there.
Yeah.
But for now, I am actually going to go to the Convert to Raid top 10. Oh, and of course, it wouldn't be the top 10 without freeze up of all of my video resources. So, of course, that had to happen. I don't know why. I don't know why it happens every single time, but it does. Fellas, so I was gonna do a top 10, and I had it all kind of out and ready to go, and it was all good. It was great. And then this afternoon, they announced that they were going from alpha to beta, and it kind of messed me up. I'm like, well, I want to be topical, right? I want to make sure to do this the right way. So I wanted to do a top 10 of the new features for Battle for Azeroth beta, right?
Yeah.
So the new features, top 10 new features for Battle for Azeroth beta, but I didn't have enough time. So we're doing a top 5 new features for Battle for Azeroth beta. And I know that some people are really happy that I'm only doing 5.
Well, me and Gizmo are going to have to come up with the other 5. That's the...
well, we'll have chat room if you want to come up with 5 more.
Trick.
Please do. So it's the top 5 new features for Battle for Azeroth beta. Number 5. Everything now 20% less janky.
Exactly 20%.
Exactly 20%.
Except for when Sharku logs on.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they just go away.
No, it's 20. It's 20%. It's still 20% less of the realm maintenance being going on. Yeah. It's
right. Okay. Number 4. Abilities on the global cooldown rework to make complete sense, then rework to be all screwy again. It's a feature. It's a feature. Number 3, only 4 months of whining on the beta forums before the real complaining begins. It's a feature. Number 2, allied races so edgy you can cut a tin can with them. Man, I tell you, if you've seen the Dark Iron dwarves, they are edgy. And I'll show you pictures in just a second. And the number 1 new feature for Battle for Azeroth beta is that new beta smell.
Yeah.
That's the Convert to Raid top 5. And I hope that those guys that wanted me to go to a top 5 really liked the top 5, and those guys that really wanted a top 10 really missed the bottom 5.
I think the people who are wanting 5 are going to realize the mistake they made this week.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. All right, let's get into the news. All right. And like I was talking about, we are going to probably focus a lot on World of Warcraft today.
A clever strategy.
Because there is so much to talk about. First of all, last week in the alpha, they tested a lot. Like a lot of different stuff. I'm just trying to think of all the different stuff they tested. Battle for Lordaeron. Stuff like intro questing and stuff like that, right?
Warfronts.
Oh, Teldrassil intro questing. It wasn't like all the stuff.
Yeah, it's the intro.
Yeah, they tested Warfronts for a few hours, right? They tested 4 new dungeons, one of which is all wicker things, which is awesome.
They tested how the Cataclysm cinematics would play in the new expansion. They tested that.
Right.
That's great.
Right. They always test that. Like the first thing that pops up is the Cataclysm thing video. Yep. Nothing like going back. What 7, 8 years now?
Exactly.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
was it that long ago?
It was. It feels like that long ago. Yeah. No, it was.
Let's see. Cataclysm came out right before my divorce, so.
Oh boy. When you start, if that's a way to tell time, that's horrible. All right.
So 6 years, 32 days.
How I can tell
5
WoW
hours,
time.
2 minutes.
There was one dungeon full of wicker people. There was one dungeon full of snake people. There was one dungeon that was totally gray, and then there was another one that was, and I can't remember what that one was now that I think about it. But it's pretty cool. And then I know they've got a bunch of changes to like some of the racials because they're redoing everything because they have to redo everything. And then there's, just so much different stuff. Gizmo. Are you in alpha beta?
Yes, I've been in alpha for.
He was the first one.
A while.
And
you were in the first wave.
Yeah, they said Gizmo, you can take your first steps.
You can be angry first.
Yeah. I was the Neil Armstrong of Battle for Azeroth Alpha.
So my question to you is: have you seen the new allied races? Because I do want to get to these. I do. The Dark Iron Dwarves and the Mag'har Orcs.
I have seen the Mag'har Orcs.
Okay.
Which look great. I've seen a few pictures of the Dark Iron Dwarves. I know, of course, I know what a Dark Iron Dwarf is, but I don't think I've seen the character models.
So here is I'm playing on the video. I'm playing the character selector, like all the different hairstyles and stuff like that you can do. And its female dwarf is Dark Iron Dwarf is amazing. It's
a mini undead.
Kind of. Well, this one
is
an
undead dwarf.
You can do the very pale skin. She looks like Jayla from Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
Because especially because she could get face tattoos. You can get those face tattoos,
I love that.
And especially with that super pale skin, you can even go bald as a female Dark Iron Dwarf.
That's pretty dope. I like that.
It is really cool.
What can you do with the eyes? Can the eyes be different colors?
I love the hair
are only
too.
Glowing. The eyes are only glowing. And
when she has when she has the hair, the way that the hair is singed at the end.
Yeah, I think was it Evitel that tried to call them Tinder dwarves or something like that?
Tinder dwarves. I don't remember.
She was like, that sounded wrong.
Yeah.
But on the video, now you have the darker skin with all the different things, and I think that look right there kind of makes her look like the little girl from The Ring.
Yeah,
it's really creepy.
Yeah,
super creepy.
The bangs in the eyes,
and all of the male Dark Iron Dwarves have very similar looks, and they look like they've been lost in the mountains for decades. It's really cool. Super tribal, very edgy.
A lot more than I was expecting to.
I like them so much that now outweighs Void Elves for me.
Well, that's not hard to do though. Void Elves are the worst new race. That's not hard to do.
Well, no. I think the other one, the
Draenei.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. Draenei are pretty weak because they're just Draenei.
Yeah.
I was talking to Hannah today because she loves her Lightforged Draenei. She's like, oh my, and she grinded out forever to get, because she hadn't really played a lot since the last patch drop, so she had to grind out all the rep and everything. And she's like, oh, that's so great! I love my Lightforged Draenei. I'm like, they're just Draenei with like gold stuff on their skin. She's like, no, they swim a little differently. I think they kick different.
That's funny.
I hate this game.
But yeah, so I mean, as far as like allied races go, alliance races go, I think that the Dark Iron Dwarves and the Kultirans are going to be like my faves, right? Yep. Because Wicker Druid is amazing. I don't care who
those
you
Druid
are.
forms are really cool.
Sick, dude. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. And then as far as like here, I'll play the Mag'har Orc, and especially this different skins that you can have for the Mag'har Orc are really different. And
it's Garrosh. Get it out.
Oh yeah, you can totally do Garrosh
tattoos.
And so the tattoos are amazing, and you know the facial stuff is not really all that amazing. It's pretty much normal orc stuff, but it's the hairstyles are pretty cool as well. And so I mean it's the Mag'har orc are amazing, and I would totally do grab a Mag'har orc for like a hunter or whatever. Yeah, I totally do that.
That face paint makes it look like the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and so I mean it's lots of different styles to pick from. So, and apparently on the now beta, you can actually go into a barber shop and change your skin, which you haven't been able to do before. So that's pretty cool. So now you can say, you know what? Mag'har, I'm playing a Mag'har orc. I don't like this tattoo anymore. I could just change out the entire skin.
Go to get a tan or tattoo removed.
Right.
Let's do it.
Right.
You gotta be. Never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke. I stopped myself.
All right.
Although in stopping myself, it now sounds probably worse.
Yeah, now you're exactly.
It's not.
I'm just assuming the most racist thing.
Yeah, I know you are.
Wow.
And
that's what we're gonna go with that.
Speaking of races, I want to talk about racial abilities.
Let's do it.
Perfect setup. Good job, Shark.
There we go. So last week we did not report this because I don't know exactly where they're going to land with this. But they changed Arcane Torrent. The developers just thought it was too awesome, and so because it's a silence and it gives mana back, and now
it's kind of busted.
Yeah, it's a little busted, especially in PvP and
right
kind of stuff.
In particularly in PvP, and every man for himself also got changed.
And mythics. So it's definitely a little broken for that as well. So
yeah.
Apparently in the beta now, they have changed it to like a little kind of a mass dispel in a lot of ways, but it only removes like one beneficial thing from enemy players. And then it's so it's not an interrupt anymore. It's just a dispel.
Right.
So I know a lot of people are kind of angry about that.
And you still get your mana back.
Yeah.
But they also cut a minute off of its cooldown.
Which is important. That is important.
Often. So it's used more as kind of a mana battery thing, which is still a huge thing.
It's still
depending on, especially if you're playing a healer, right?
Right.
So blood elf pallies and priests and
yes,
or pallies and priests.
Yes,
monks,
pretty
I
much,
guess.
pretty much.
But yeah, that'll be good. But they nerfed the every man for himself talent on humans as well, making it a 3-minute cooldown instead of 2. And now it has a 90-second cooldown with other abilities that also free you.
So
instead of 30.
So
they tripled the cooldown.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Sharing it with
that's
another
the remove a stun or silence.
The trinket. Yeah.
So that is actually kind of nice, and now people won't feel like they. Well, no, people will still feel like they have to play humans for all.
Yeah,
PvP.
I mean, hardcore Alliance PvPers almost kind of feel like they have to. If the class is available for human, they have to roll human. So it's now it'll be nice.
They have cooler humans they can play now.
Well, races and racial traits and all that, they should be cosmetic and I guess kind of nifty. Like I like that they add a little bit of something, like you get just a little bit more mana or more or more haste, and everybody gets something, and so that's cool. But the thing is, some of them, I mean, they're just so OP. They can't have something so vastly more helpful than the other races.
It's,
and Blizzard has tried to keep dialing it back, but hopefully this change will actually work, especially with the PvP focus of the expansion.
Right. It's kind of like with PvE, people feel like, if you're Horde, you have to play Troll because you get berserking, and that's a thing. And all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it just kind of depends on what you're playing as far as what race you might like. Like all of the new allied races, it seems like they are giving like a 1 or 2% boost to stats. Like they're just a stat stick, essentially. And
that's what it should be. Just a little like, here's a stat here, here's some of this there. This is going to make you feel. They should,
Right.
It's hard to. Like I said, I think it should be more cosmetic, like the Worgans running wild. You know what I mean? That they can mount by running on all fours. That's really cool. Yeah. And that's a cosmetic thing that it fits in with their, if they could find something. War Stomp for Taurens, even though it's a stun, it has such a long cooldown that it's not that big of a difference, but it's still like, oh yeah, that's a Tauren. It makes me feel very Tauren. I don't know.
Right. So, it's all those, and I saw that somebody in chat, don't know who, said something about Vulpera being Horde, and I'm like, you know what? I think Vulpera are going to be Horde. The little fox people, I think they are going to be Horde if they go allied race with those guys.
It's Frasley. I don't know. I still think they're going to be.
I mean, just because I've been in the alpha.
Oh, really?
And
their storyline is already.
They play with the Horde. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if that's actually the thing or not, but probably, from my opinion. Again. Okay.
We'll see.
Right. Exactly. Another thing that happened that was tested, or that is changing actually, are the island expeditions. They are changing a little bit. I think they felt like they just weren't directed enough.
Mm-hmm.
Gizmo, what's happening with those guys?
Yes, so to give you a little bit more direction here, they're going to be adding 3 red X's on the map for high value targets, so you know where to go for those. They're going to be adding some visual updates, some weather effects, time of day, skyboxes. They've added a bunch of new creatures in.
I think
hundreds of new creatures.
I think they said like 800.
Wow.
Like 800. That's a lot.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But they're all insects that you can't see. That's the...
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
They're there, though.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 new island types. They have a Molten K and a Dread Chain.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're really kind of doing this up a little bit more. And the 3 red X's, they're just going to like appear on your map and just like, hey, you know what? Here are some high value things. Go over to these places. It gives you a starting point, right? So that's nice. I think that people were just kind of like, where are we supposed to go? What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Wow.
What else? What else is going on?
Well, the Christie Golden's books on Amazon.
Oh yeah. And they changed the whatchamacallit, the description.
The graphic, the description, yeah. And it's I'm excited. I heard you, or I saw you, Pat, tweeting or something about needing a new book.
Yeah, I need a new audio book.
This is it. Because I'm looking at Amazon right now, and if you don't have a free trial with Audible, you can get it for free.
Oh, wow.
Wow, there you go. It's a done deal.
If you haven't done your free trial already.
It's a done deal.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick this up on audiobook and read it. I don't know who does they said who reads. I don't know if they even have.
It is actually Christie Golden. No.
It's Christie Golden herself. It should be. I need it to be. I needed to be Chris Medson just reading all the books. That's the best part.
But that doesn't come out until June, right?
Or Darren DePaul. That is correct.
So
that is correct. It'll be a while, but they updated it. There's some cool stuff going.
I need an audiobook now.
Yeah, you need it now?
Yeah, well, I mean, it next week.
We've got Pull Up Blizzard. Just call Christie up and be like, hey.
I'll be like,
my audiobook and I want it now.
I'll be like, hey, I could read it for. No, I'm not going to do
that. We'll do a review.
Sure, we can do that.
Exclusive review for your book.
Do that,
but we need early access for that.
We need early access, and we need it in audio form.
Right. Yeah.
So get it done already.
Because reading is for the dumbs.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and this is another program note. There will not be a show next week because I will be on the road, which is why I need an audiobook.
Now.
So next week I'm going to be on the road, so I need an audiobook. So unfortunately, it will not be Christie Golden's Before the Storm novel, but
I am excited about it though. I can't wait. I want to know all the stuff that goes on. More this expansion than I ever have for any other expansion. I really want to know that. And I haven't read this yet either, but what I'm going to do is, because Shoe Boots, one of my co-hosts on Merely Setback, has basically demanded that if you're going to read, if you're interested in the storyline of what's going on in Battle for Azeroth right now, you need to read Tides of War, the Jaina book that came out before Legion.
Yeah.
Because it talks a lot about, I think it was Warlords of Draenor. It was after because that had the trial of Garrosh and all that too, I think.
It was before Warlords.
Was it before Warlords?
That's the first one I ever read, but it explains why Jaina's so angry.
But yeah, a lot, since they're bringing Jaina back in a big way, he's like, you need to know that story. And there's a lot that apparently they talk about Sylvanas in that book a lot too. So I think that is something that everyone should do. Go read that. Maybe that's your audiobook right there if you haven't read Tides of War yet.
Yeah, maybe. I had it on audiobook. It's really good.
It's great.
It's done really well in it.
So if you're into the lore and stuff for this expansion coming out, that's a good one to definitely pick up.
I think this expansion, actually last expansion, the Legion as well. So Legion and this next expansion, I think, from a story perspective, it seems like they have ramped it up.
They're really starting to put things together. Like Chris Meston and the story team that was there before Chris left was incredible. I'm not talking down on them at all.
Right.
But when the game came out, it wasn't really story focused as much. Like there was obviously story there, and like going to fight Illidan was awesome, and that fed into the story. The story in Wrath of the Lich King was incredible.
Yeah.
And but they didn't really link everything together because I don't think they realized how far the game was going to go.
Yeah.
Like you go back to interviews during that time, they're like, yeah, we'll probably go to like level 100 and then be done. And they even slowed down, and we've already still surpassed level 100. You know what I mean? They're doing the 5-level increments for a while there to try to slow it down. But yeah, it's now they're like, this is just going to be a story that lasts forever, and we're going to write it that way.
Yeah. I mean, it's a soap opera essentially.
Really cool.
I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah, these expansions are becoming episodes.
Yeah.
Or seasons, and each patch is an episode.
Seasons.
And it's what it is. It's all linked together. What happens, what happened in Mists of Pandaria, and it basically, for what I'm looking at, it basically all started with Mists of Pandaria and Garrosh and that whole epic, and that fed into Warlords of Draenor, which is feeding into Legion, which is now feeding into, and man, it's really cool. It's just all of it is so tied together so well.
Yeah, I think since. I mean, Cataclysm kind of tried to do that, and I think that was a little bit. It explains why Thrall.
It explains why Thrall steps down,
right?
Because that's the events that happened in Cataclysm directly affected Pandaria because Thrall stepped down as war chief.
Right.
So,
plus Cataclysm was just the greatest expansion of all time.
Okay, show's over, folks.
You may taste the sarcasm was so palpable. I literally.
No, that's not sarcasm. It's not my favorite, but it's in my top.
No, it's
two.
I thought it was
wow.
There, I thought it was okay. It was okay. I don't have any real complaints about it. It's not like we were stuck in a Garrison all expansion. So I mean, there's that, right?
Yeah. I lose my WoW Cool Kid card every now and again because I say my favorite expansion was Pandaria and not Lich King. Get mad at me. I'm like,
I know. It wasn't great content wise. It's when I really started raiding, and So it was a big expansion for me.
Firelands was great. I don't care. Firelands was a cool raid.
Yeah, it was.
Firelands was a cool raid.
Dragon Soul. Dragon
Soul got a little.
Alazir was a fun fight.
Cool raid too. It wasn't the coolest, but it wasn't awful, except for when you're trying to solo the spine. That makes it awful.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't like the way we fight Deathwing, though. I don't like that particular. You
don't like
fight,
beating up on his toenails?
Yeah, I don't like fighting Deathwing's toenails, and then.
Well, first of all, you have to take all the armor off of his spine, and then you have to cut his nails.
Needed trimming. That way he can't scratch anymore, claw marks and Stormwind.
Right, and then Thrall actually kills him. Thrall actually takes him apart. It's not you. You just fight up to the thing, and then Thrall just shines the thing in his face, and he dies. So
it's like when you try and open a can of like pickles or something, and you do all the work, and then somebody's like, "Here, I got that." And they're like,
and then
and then you see the storytellers start to take a different angle on it, because it's Mists of Pandaria where we get the heroes actually taking down the big boss. Because you walk in and Thrall's fighting Garage, you're like, oh, good, Thrall, you got this. You killed Deathwing. Everything's great. Oh, wow, he one-shot you. He just one-shot Thrall. Buff up.
Right.
Right. And then the heroes get to take down Garage. And now we see that more like it's the heroes that are doing something. It's the champions that are actually doing the
which is
good. Take it down. The champions take down Kill Jaden. The champions take down Argus. Well,
although I do get a little I do get a little tired of being called hero and champion.
I know.
I think it's a little the stories of your the tales of you have spread far and wide and across the land, and now everybody calls you champion or hero.
If I get to talk to Darren DePaul again this time at BlizzCon, I will ask him if he will personally say every player in the World of Warcraft's character name and all their alts so that they could just plug that into.
Right.
Thank you so much, Sharku.
Right.
I cut you off, Giz. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, if World of Warcraft was real life, it would feel real bad to be like one of the NPC characters. Because you're like the 1% of the population that just can't do anything. Everyone else is a hero and a champion.
Right.
I just sell apples.
NPC 17 or whatever.
I sell apples. I cook stew for people outside the gates of.
You're sitting there in the trade district selling white gear or something. You're like, why has no one been in my store other than to sell me garbage in 15 years?
All bat guano.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that discussion went places.
Right. So we sidetracked a little bit into story there, which is fine. And I'm so looking forward to the story in Battle for Azeroth. It's what I've seen has been fascinating. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what else there is. And we have, like I mentioned, we have started to see the Teldrassil quest line leading into Teldrassil. We haven't seen any cinematics with it, I don't think. Or at least I haven't seen any of the stuff online as far as like in-game cinematics that we will definitely see as a part of the game. And same thing for Lordaeron, right? We've only seen some cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen like the whole thing yet. We're waiting for it. I really want to play through that stuff now, but
I don't even know. I don't even think they'll put the cutscenes in until live.
Yeah, the cutscenes are something I try and avoid.
Yeah, I think they're gonna keep that. Well, that's I want to remember that's what they did in Legion as well. Like they had places for the cutscenes to go, and they tell you sort of what happened to get the story, but they saved the actual cutscenes.
Yeah. And which is great because I want Taryn Gregory and his team to do their magic and to make it the best thing ever. And inserting that video into the end of the quest or whatever is easy, and that's just like, hey, just pop it in, good to go. All right, sweet.
Yeah.
So why not take all the time you need to make sure that it's perfect, because those cutscenes are the things that people treasure in this game. One of those things, like they really like the community aspect of World of Warcraft, and they really love those cutscenes. so important ever since Wrathgate, right? So, you know.
I mean, I don't know how many times I've watched the opening cinematic for Battle for Azeroth. Oh, it's probably
I keep watching
20 plus. It's really good.
So good. So
that
good.
Banshee Queen goodness.
Banshee Queen just yelling for the Horde, and everybody goes, "Oh yeah, all right." And some of the Alliance players are like, "Yeah, sure, I'll."
When she goes full Banshee before that is even.
Oh, it's so cool.
But she's so like, cool. Oh, there's some guys down there. I'm going to just become a spirit and steal their soul for a minute.
Right.
Here we go.
Right.
Let's do this.
Okay, we should probably get on with show stuff, however, because we do have more to cover.
Yes.
In tonight's deal, and hopefully you guys out there are, number one, not spoiled too much by what's coming during Battle for Azeroth, because now it seems like it's a little too early to totally be spoiled on all of the stuff for Battle for Azeroth. Just my opinion, of course. And I know a lot of people are trying to stay away from spoilers. Also, Infinity War is playing this weekend, so that and Battle for Azeroth beta, so stay off of social media.
Yep. Just run away.
Completely.
I feel like once it hits the internet, it's golden, though, right? That's when you can. That can't be a spoiler after it's on the internet.
I don't know. I usually give it a couple months. Anyway, so Battle for Azeroth. Another thing that they're doing is they're also testing the communities feature. So they have been talking about the communities feature. We now have seen a little bit in testing, and I don't know. It's kind of like what they talked about at BlizzCon. Haven't really seen it in action myself, so I don't know. But you'll have your guild group, and then you'll have whatever random interchangeable communities that you can make up. So
yeah, it's interesting because it says like your guild will be your first community, and then you can join others. I'm wondering if the guilds themselves are communities that other people can join. So if, that would us convert to raid, we have that guild. If other people, from other servers can join the convert to raid community that's tied to that guild.
I'm not sure if that would, to me, that would kind of defeat the purpose of the guild then.
It gets weird, yeah.
So,
I'm just worrying because kind of the way that it was worded, but
yeah. I'm just kind of thinking that it's got to be like guild is membership, everything else is wide open, so who cares?
It almost feels like to me like Blizzard's own way of doing something like Discord or GroupMe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a way to organize people that, for example, if, not saying that Convert to Raid will do this, but if some people from Convert to Raid get together and I'm playing Horde and Gizmo's playing Alliance, but we used to play together on the same raid team or whatever. And so now we can be in a community, different than the guild, but a community. So I can see when he's on and I still have some Alliance alts.
Sure.
And he's on doing something. And I'm pretty sure communities are cross-faction. Communities are everything.
They're cross-realm.
I know they're cross-realm.
Are they cross-realm, cross
community? I don't think they're cross-faction.
Same realm. Oh, okay, they might not be. That's just weird.
I hope that they actually are in the long run, right? I actually
that was my assumption. I thought I heard them say something that they were going to be cross-faction.
So,
but maybe I'm wrong.
I would prefer that, but they will be cross-realm. So I'm guessing that Convert to Raid, the guild, will obviously have its own green wall situation happening anyway.
Yeah.
But we will probably also start up a community so that those guys that are outside can join us in the community stuff and just have it be wide open. So
now that I'm looking at some of the screenshots they have, like when you're creating a community, it says create Horde community. So it might not be cross faction.
Well.
That was, I don't know why I made that assumption.
Maybe they will. It's
I really
not
hope
done
they
yet.
do, because I think
are battling the Horde this expansion.
Yeah,
not a community.
Right. And by the way, guys, maybe this is a great question for Ian Hazakostas. There is going to be a Q&A on Thursday. So, Shark, get that question into Ian Hazakostas and say, why aren't you doing a cross-factional community?
Here's another thing. There's a World of Warcraft community, which is different than a Blizzard group. So a World of Warcraft community.
You're gonna break my brain now.
I know.
You're gonna totally break my brain.
So basically, you can do growth. You can do both. The WoW communities is just regulated to WoW and it's faction specific. The Blizzard groups can be anybody. They can be groups of people that play Overwatch or Here's the Storm Together or Hearthstone and WoW.
Those are already in.
So right, and that's I think what I was thinking of.
Right. Nobody uses
right.
them.
Exactly.
So
well. And maybe when they have the communities, they'll use them more anyway. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm kind of like meh on the whole thing.
Well, and so, okay, so I will leave it with the Q&A is on Thursday. We will have more follow-up after. I guess I'm not here next week. So we won't follow up on the Q&A next week. Hopefully we'll follow it up when I get back. And maybe somebody will ask this question of why don't we have cross-factional communities coming up for Battle for Azeroth or BIFA or whatever. BAzeroth. I like BAzeroth.
BAzeroth is good.
Simple stuff. All right. We should probably go on to, I don't know, how about Heroes of the Storm?
Let's jam.
Okay. So Gizmo, sit right there and let me tell you a story. No, what's going on? What's happening in Heroes lately?
If you're playing quick match as Deckard Cain, not a whole lot because it's going to be a while before you get into a game.
Oh, yeah.
So he is live now, and he is a blast to play. I haven't played him a ton, actually, because the queues are so long. But I've played in groups with people that have been playing him. I've gotten a couple games in. He feels really good. A couple issues in quick match when there's a Cain on the other team. It's pretty hard to differentiate between everything. The potions, like the potions that are your team, have like a slight gold glow to them, it seems like. But even his scroll of sealing, even though the enemy team's like outlined in red, it's a lot to try and be deciphering what's good and bad on the screen.
Gotcha.
So that won't be an issue in draft and once you get into rank play. The other thing is, while he's super fun to play, he does seem a little lacking in team fights, kind of. His auto attack is absolutely useless. There's no reason to be getting in there. It doesn't do anything.
Nice.
And I think he has a talent that goes into his auto attacking, but I've never messed with that. So his Q's on a short cooldown. His other abilities are kind of long. They're really useful in team fights, but kind of, I don't know. Something feels a little weird in the team fights, but all in all, I think he's in a pretty good spot for a release. It's good. Yet to see if he's going to be OP or not. I think he's probably just pretty good.
Okay.
And the other kind of hero updates, Genji getting some slight changes here. Looks like they're trying to crack down on the so-called mobility creep in the game. They made some changes to Tracer a few weeks ago, and now they are making those changes to Genji as well, just increasing his trait cooldown, reducing range on his Swift Strike, which is his dash, on his E. Dragon Blade, they're actually making a big change to. It used to be whenever you killed an enemy hero who was recently hit by Dragon Blade, it would reset Swift Strike's cooldown, which was huge. That has been removed. That has now been added on to a level 20 talent. So that's going to be a big change for Dragon Blade there. But other than that, not many hero changes, a few tweaks here and there. The other cool thing is they are doing a home screen rework for the game. A lot of us have been asking for this. They are adding a kind of a secondary navigation bar that's going to be below like the play collection tabs up top. And they're going to be able to add in all sorts of things. Right now, I think it just has Deckard. If you click on that, there won't be more links at the bottom that you can click on it and it'll take you to where you can buy them. But they can put hero spotlights, They can actually advertise the HGC in the client now, which is really important.
That's good
for the growth. Good. Yeah, it's huge.
Because I tell you, they do that for Overwatch, and that is amazing. I mean, just having something to click and just like you're in it already. You know, it's like you're just right there in Overwatch League or in HGC or whatever, and just being able to watch that stuff. And because there are so many. One of the things that I've been amazed with in the last couple of weeks is the amount of really cool games that I've seen in the pro leagues and HGC among them, and it's just been a lot of fun, especially the last couple of weeks. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Overwatch League is all sorts of weird right now, but.
Yeah, and it's something we've been kind of complaining about for a while.
Sure.
As Heroes fans, that Overwatch is getting all this stuff, which it makes sense. You know, it's the new big thing that they're kind of trying to change how esports are done. But for HGC, the only time you ever saw it in the actual game client was for like a Midwestern Clash or something. There was a backsplash screen. Nothing else. So hopefully this will be like, hey, HGC is live right now. Click that, and then maybe there's a button at the bottom that'll take you and upload you to the Twitch channel, because this game has players. There was some unofficial kind of stuff going on Reddit of comparing the Heroes of the Storm monthly active users to other games, because Blizzard has not been reporting Heroes numbers, and so the unofficial monthly active users for Heroes of the Storm is 6.5 million, which is third. The next is Dota, which is like 10.5, I believe.
All right.
So while that's still a little further behind, that's way more than most people thought.
Sure.
But the HGC isn't growing because people don't know about it. So get it in game. Let's get people interested, and let's get that growing.
And so that's live now?
It's live as now, but all it has currently is like a Deckard thing you can click on, and then it brings you to a different thing. So they tried putting this in the last patch, but it caused issues. So they're probably going to be doing a slower rollout.
Well, but the ability to click and watch the HGC is live now. No, that's not live.
Well, it's live in the Blizzard launcher.
Okay, all right. Well,
but not the game.
Damn it. That's it's kind of a lost opportunity, because this weekend is the playoffs, and then next week is Crucible, and so you've got some big matchups coming for HGC the next couple of weeks, and so it would be great to have that in game, Blizzard.
It would, which you can make the argument, if you're going to the launcher to launch the game anyways, you should see it, but a lot of times you don't, because they have 5 or 6 different slides, and it just may be on the Deckard thing when you launch it up. And
yeah. I hear you. All right. Anything else as far as Heroes of the Storm goes?
That's about it this week.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll move on to Hearthstone.
Job's done.
Oh, yes, it is. It is done. It is done.
Oh man, I just got
it. Yeah, I played that for a purpose, because it was announced like basically when was it? On Friday. It was Ben Brode's last day at Hearthstone, and everybody just went, "What?
Yeah, and that's huge.
I mean, it's amazing that he is he's built up Hearthstone. He's been there forever. He's been at Blizzard forever. Really, he's been there for 15 years. Never known another gaming company really, because he was one of the testers. That's how he started. And now he's made a game. He's made a very successful game. And he's been the face of that game. And he's like, you know what? I need a new challenge, which is great. I love that he's ready for a new challenge. And so he's going off and he's starting a new company. So it's
which may be making games.
Which will probably be making games. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be doing. Yeah, whether it's a card game or not. And Brode is just incredibly talented, and he was so good. There are a few devs out there that have that kind of personality of a Ben Brode, a Chris Metzen, that are, I don't necessarily want to say extroverted, but that have that performance ability, right? To be able to get out in front of the fans of their games, to be active with them and to be excited about their game and to communicate that in a way that is, it's a real gift when you have something like that. And so I don't think that the Hearthstone team is in any, they're going to miss Brode. Definitely. But they're not in any danger of like, that game is solid.
No, it's not like they lost all their producers or anything.
They're in good hands. And I'm watching our chat room as well. And you know, we're seeing things like, oh, this reminds me of Metzen. Wicked Kitten says Kaplan's better stay put. And I'm like, yeah. But it's different than Metzen. I think with Metzen, everybody connected with him personally because of the story. And so there are lots of different emotions tied up. With Ben, it was more like the fun of Hearthstone, right? So it was more this fun side, and he did his rap thing at BlizzCon. He's done everything. So
we as the fans have a different view of a lot of these devs. Like I remember that just on the on my show the other week, I got some feedback because I said something about Chris Metzen and being I think the game designer or something like that. Like, yeah, he was, but he was in charge of story. Like he wasn't, like he had a different specific job. He wasn't God of all things. Wow. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we see him that he was in our minds as the fans, we see he was the figurehead. He was the leader. Ben Brode was the game designer, but in the same way, we have these skewed kind of perceptions of them because that's who we're seeing taking control of all of these games, and some of them are the leaders, and some of them are just are just devs in other departments that are a project leader, but are the ones that are the best in front of the crowd,
and a little less publicized, but still there on Twitter. So Ben put it out on Twitter, and then there was a forum post from Ben talking about how he was leaving and what he wanted to do, and how he felt, all the good things about Blizzard, and great things about all of the fans of the games and all that kind of stuff. But one of his Twitter, one of the Twitter responses was from Hearthstone executive producer Hamilton Chu, and he is also gone. Somebody we don't really know, but is an executive producer of the game, same game, and I think the assumption is that they might be going off together to start a new company.
It seems to me that that's got to be related. Yeah, so, that's something that they're going to be partners or something in whatever their next endeavor is.
He didn't like write up a big thing or anything like that. He was just a like a little Twitter response that said, "Oh yeah, me too. This is my final day too."
Which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. So that is kind of the biggest news from Hearthstone. We're still, the only other news is the new expansion, and that doesn't seem as big. Not even as much. I know that
the new expansion is great.
We've been out a couple of weeks. I'm still not seeing any new meta. I'm still getting my butt kicked.
Right.
So by whatever deck I choose, whatever new meta I'm picking, Spiteful Priest,
the wrong one.
I get blasted. I pick up my Dude Paladin one, my Bro Paladin. That one also gets just decimated.
It's a weird place right now.
Yep.
Q Block I think is still doing pretty good.
Yep. I lost to a Q Block the other day. That was pretty fun.
I was on a pretty good win streak with a odds only face hunter.
Yep. Odds only is a good one. Yep.
And but yeah, it really depends. And the thing is, the meta right now is so counterable. It almost depends on what you go up against. Like if I'm going against a control warrior, like the armor warriors that are just ridiculous.
The warrior is actually pretty cool.
I'm never going to be able to do enough damage to this warrior to kill him. Like I cannot.
Right.
He's going to control me as a face hunter. There's no way. Like I almost always auto concede. when I see I'm going against a warrior.
It's sad,
like, especially after we get to turn 1 and we see that they're the odds only 2 and the tank up does 4 armor every turn instead of 2. I'm like, yeah, this game's over.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Because they could just armor every turn and win for the most part. So
exactly.
Anyway.
Do you just concede in life, Shark? Is that how you go through life? You don't give up, little buddy. No, you got this.
It's not.
If you're playing a face hunter against the armor warrior, you just concede. You don't.
Right. There comes a point. There comes a point where you go, "This is a little futile." Yeah.
It's like 1 or 2 out of
limited poop time, and this is not part of it.
Right. Exactly. I've been done for 10 minutes. I'm just sitting here now.
Out of millions of possible ways that we could draw our cards, I think there's 1 or 2 ways in which a face hunter could beat.
Right.
Or I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, it seems to be, I'm like almost there. I'm almost there. I almost got him. And then they, pull the, 5 armor draw card, tank up. And all of a sudden they have 14 health again. And you're like, what?
Right. And by the way, I did say futile. I'll say it that way instead of not futile. Not futile. The futility. But I'm from Minnesota, not Minnesota. Not Minnesota. Minnesota. So
Minnesota.
Do you call it soda or do you call it pop or Coke?
I just grab a water. I'm fine.
Pop guy.
I'm good. I'm off of carbonated beverages. Unless there's booze in it.
What did you call said carbonated beverages?
Beer. That's what I called it. No, either way, I'm fine.
Okay.
Growing up, though, pop. Just letting you know. All right. I think that is it for Hearthstone and another sidetrack. So let's go to Overwatch.
Oh, rubbish.
No, it's good. We don't actually have a lot going on in Overwatch this week. I mean, we have Retribution and we have Uprising still. And we have me getting mad when players drop out on both.
And elimination still.
Still a lot of cool playing, as far as in-game goes. Plus, Overwatch League kicking butt right now. It's really fun. But we do have a couple of things, right, Shark? We have some reworks going on. Well, one rework happening.
Yeah, they've got a couple, like they're working on Lucio's wall ride. They're trying to what else? They're
trying some other wall ride things big.
They're doing some change. Oh yeah, it's going to be.
Is it big?
It is.
So what are they changing for the wall ride? Gizmo?
So I have not gone and tested this out. This kind of blew my mind as I was reading through it.
Yeah.
Apparently they turned the difficulty of wall riding way down. I don't know the specific mechanics yet, but there's a video of XQC who gets on like a pillar and he pulls his hand off and he's just one-handed staying on the wall going round and round. So apparently they made the difficulty super easy now, but they also took away the acceleration a while back.
Okay.
But now in the public test region under the control options, there's a sliding scale of the minimum hold time for wall cornering from 0 to 0.5 seconds. So it seems as though you can adjust kind of the difficulty of the wall riding and choose for it to be easy but no acceleration, or more difficult but getting the acceleration.
Interesting.
Which is a really interesting and I think cool way to tune a mechanic for a competitive game.
Interesting. That is interesting. I will give you that.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you that.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
And then there's some other changes in the PTR, including Hanzo is getting some changes. What are they doing? I'm sorry.
On his I just had it up. Wakatiki taco. I don't know what it is.
Right.
They're taking away his scatter
shot is getting removed.
What are they going to do to replace that?
They're giving him a rapid fire that shoots 6 shots in quick succession.
All right.
So this means, can we please get that taken out of Heroes of the Storm?
Yeah, also, yeah, can we do that too?
That's why you're so excited.
Yes.
That's why you're so excited. I see what's going on.
And they're also reworking Symmetra.
Yeah, which should be good. I'm actually looking forward to anything that they can do to Symmetra. Which would be helpful.
What they're the interesting thing about Symmetra is they're considering reclassifying her from support to a defense character.
They should. Right? They should have done that from the beginning.
Which, she never really, and she always sort of seemed, especially with the turrets and like, and I get she had the shields and then they tried to buff the shields and do different, and they already reworked her once, and it came out pretty well. And she's a strong hero.
Yeah.
Has been in the past. I don't know exactly where she's living right now as far as that goes, but reworking her kit, and I don't know if they're going to take shields away or if they're going to and just make her kit more defensive as far as, but it makes sense that she has shields because Torbjorn gives armor.
Yeah.
Armor up, right? So, yeah.
Sure.
I don't know. But they talked about reworking her, and it's a discussion that they're having. Come get your armor.
Yeah. He's half a pirate.
That was a pirate Torbjorn.
He is a pirate. I only played pirate
Swedish
Torbjorn.
Pirate. Yeah.
But anyway, there you go. So yeah, Symmetra is going to get a little bit of a rework, and they haven't said much about what specifically they're going to do, but the idea is to shift her into more of that defense role rather than a support role.
Yep.
Well, and especially since we got some such strong supports coming out recently,
and maybe that will help with Overwatch League because she doesn't get played a lot. It's super specific.
Right.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've only seen her.
She's great on some things. Yeah.
Once or twice or something like that. Out of all the games, out of all the 40 games per team.
I think it's because doesn't the deluxe edition, don't you get like a Jaina Symmetra skin if you buy the deluxe edition of the WoW expansion?
No, not Symmetra.
Is it not Symmetra? I thought there was some sort of Jaina skin.
No. Not that I'm aware of. Anyway.
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong.
I don't
too.
play her very much, so
I was thinking if that is the case, that's why they're changing her now, so people will play her again with the Jaina skin.
Sure. And that is about it for Overwatch. Was there anything else that we? I'm sure that there's stuff that we missed. I mean, I know that there's lots of things with now the beta for Battle for Azeroth that we missed. Some of it's on purpose. Some of it's because I'm an idiot and I didn't put it in the show notes. You know, stuff like that is obviously part of the thing, but also part of the thing like class changes. I don't like putting a lot of class changes in there because anything can happen in the next 4 months while we wait for this thing. Because you know, the game's coming out August 14th. As we get closer and as they kind of start finalizing stuff, yeah, sure, we'll probably dive into some of those class changes, but
there's some cool stuff.
Right now, it seems early still. Although now that it's beta, I should probably really start looking at some of the stuff and making sure that I know what's going on. Yeah, because alpha is like a sandbox essentially. Beta is like, okay, now let's get to work, refine stuff, make sure that none of the textures are glitching out and people are falling through floors and stuff. You know. Little things like that. So I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff in the beta that we haven't talked about, and if there's something that you guys really want to hear, just let us know. Really, is there anything else with any of the other games though that we have foregone for this episode that you wanted to talk about?
We did have some news about how Blizzard's confirming that WoW isn't going to be on the Xbox for PlayStation 4.
Well,
which
I
guess that's news.
Was that a thing?
That
doesn't seem like a thing.
It's been a discussion because of like Final Fantasy and stuff, which I've played on both PC and console, and it works, but there's not nearly as many buttons in those games.
Right. No,
and you can use a keyboard on PlayStation. Sure. But there's a lot of, cross-platform. There's a lot of hurdles and stuff.
And I get that the argument is that gaming PCs are so expensive And so a lot of I don't want to say casual gamers, but a lot of the gamers that don't have the money to spend on a big rig, a lot of them console game, because you can get a console for like $400 when they, if not that. However,
so what my takeaway is that Sharku hates casual gamers.
I don't.
I'm just
there are some things that are PC games. I feel like some things just are meant to be played on PC. And I've had this argument about Elder Scrolls games before. I always played Elder Scrolls games on console. They just, for me, it seems like that's, Skyrim is a PlayStation game to me, which I know everyone's going to get mad because it's like, oh no, it's Xbox. But anyway,
sure.
Just console. Like I always played it on a console. But I have a lot of people that are diehard like, no, this is a PC game.
Hey, I have Rocket League on PC, Xbox, and Switch now. So on Switch, it's a little difficult.
It's it's kind of hard,
especially if you have the screen in your hand.
Yeah.
All right.
How many people do you know that have a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One and don't have a computer of some sort?
I don't know many, but there are. I mean, it's a thing. These are people that
most people have.
And they will have a computer of some sort, and that's what I was going to say. That can play WoW. You can get a machine to play WoW. You can actually build a not terrible gaming PC if you're buying the parts yourself and putting it together for not that much more than what a console would cost you.
That's probably
you can
true.
do it for under $500. You're not going to get the best stuff in there, but you could get a decent PC with well, maybe not now since video cards are like crazy,
right?
But when the market regulates again, or
it's
defluctuates,
it's not gonna until cryptocurrency goes away. But whatever.
Right, but whatever happens with all that, but yeah, it's not too awfully difficult to be able to get. And even if you could buy old gen video cards right now, and you're not gonna be affected by the cryptocurrency.
No. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, if you are out there and you're mad because you don't have a good gaming PC, instead of buying that next gen system when it comes out, look into building yourself a gaming PC. You'd be surprised that you could probably do it. Build a decent rig for about what you'd spend on the console.
There we go. And
that's what I think.
Shark is going to create a whole bunch of videos showing just how to do that.
I would. Easy. Yeah. PCPartPicker.com is the best way to kind of start putting a rig together. It's my favorite. I honestly do that for fun every now and again.
I've actually been there when you've done that. When we were raiding together, I remember a couple of different nights where we guys after raid would go to PC Part Picker and just like start building stuff, and I'm like,
well, that was when I was building the computer that I use now. And I mean, Yeska, Darius, and everybody, like they knew Hanzi. Yeah, they were all like. I don't know what to do, but I want to build my own PC because I don't have a lot of money. And I'm like, oh, you got to do this. You got to get this. Oh, don't get that.
Right. Exactly.
You got to get a solid state drive.
That's what raid teams are for, guys. They're there to help you out. That's it. Okay. And speaking of that's it. So I'm going to play this music. And we're going to get the heck out of Dodge. But before we do, guys, I want you to tell people what you're up to and how they can find you. And Gizmo, I'll start with you. What do you got this week on the show? On the Lords of the Storm show?
Yes. This week on the show, Wednesday, tomorrow night, it's 9 p.m. Central, twitch.tv/Lords of the Storm. We'll be going a little bit more in depth on Deckard, the patch, some of the other character changes, HGC stuff coming up for the playoffs and the mid-season brawl. So it should be a good time over there. Come hang out. You can also find me on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, all those things at Gizmo Zord.
Gotcha. And Shark.
You can find me on Merely a Setback. I was trying to get out of an episode today, but my computer kept crashing on me because everything is awesome.
Well, maybe you need to talk to Darius and Yeska and Hanzi and go back to PC Part Picker and
maybe build my computer bad.
Right, exactly.
But anyway, but yeah, that show, the new episode will be out soon, and we record that every Monday at 9 on twitch.tv/Setback podcast. So check us out there. Check me out at Sharku_CTR on Twitter. And yeah, I'm around maybe sometimes.
Cool. Yeah, and if you guys wanna catch me on different things, Pat Crane on all the socials. That's with a K, and then also Battlenet Sports. Don't forget about that. That new episode usually on Tuesdays, although next week it won't be here because I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be on the road next week, so no Battlenet Sports, no Battlenet News next week. I will miss all of you guys, but you can follow me on all the socials, and I'll be sharing pictures from my trip on the road. So there.
Pat Crane with a C. Is that Cat Crane?
It's Pat Crane with a K.
Pat Crane?
It's Pat Crane with a K. That's the way it goes. All right, I'm going to bail on that music, and I'm going to play this stuff. I'm going to get out of here.
Crane.
Shark Crane.
Is Shark Crane with a K or a C?
It's with a K. It's with a K.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. The hurricane is coming for you. Nope. All right. Another thing that you can do is also join the conversation we're having anytime by joining the Bazuba Nation over at ConvertToRaid.com. That's where we have all of our stuff. We have our show downloads, our Discord info, our videos, audio, the guild stuff, the blah, 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 like all the things, including the Convert to Raid podcast network, which features shows from these two monkeys and all the other regular players on the show, on the different shows that I do. So make sure to go over to ConvertToRaid.com and check it out, and check these guys out wherever they are. And you can also follow us on Twitter. You follow the show on Twitter at ConvertToRaid, also Facebook and stuff like that. Don't forget, mini Minnesota meetup for the Overwatch League Stage 3 finals on May 6th. And that is on the Facebook. So there. Thank you, Twitch chat, for joining us and being weird as usual. Thanks to Shark and Gizmo. Thank you for being weird as well. And wherever you guys are listening to us, stay weird. It's good. That is going to do it for the show. Convert to Raid is brought to you in part by Signals Media. Actually, it's produced and distributed by Signals Media. And that's going to be it for the show. So thanks once again. And for all the guys on Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Monica, I did call you weird. You are weird. You're delightfully weird.
Weirdo.
My dog is weird. She's like, whenever I switch the camera off of the 3-shot onto one of you guys, she would jump up on me. She's like jumping up on me.
She knows.
I don't know what she knows. It's like, she's like, I gotta go do things. Carla, get down. All right. Man, she is insistent. She's like, your show is over. Now let me outside, David.
It is now my time.
Right. And Daisy is still at my feet. Here, I'll grab Daisy for everybody. Ah! Oh, this is Daisy. Oh, wait. Daisy. She's a little one.
Daisy.
So.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Now she can go back to laying down at my feet.
We just need to stop talking about World of Warcraft and just put our dogs on camera.
I know! I think that's all anybody ever wants to see anyway.
Make everybody a lot more happy.
So, yeah, exactly. All right, well, I think that is going to do it, because I really do think my dog needs to go outside or something.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly what's going on.
You don't want them to relieve themselves on your rig, yeah.
Yeah, no, I really don't.
She's about to join the horde. Stanky pants.
Yes, exactly. So we're going to go away. But thank you very much, everybody, for coming down and saying hi and all that kind of stuff and being weird.
Yeah.
Being weird. That's what it's all about. All right. Bye, guys. See you in a couple of weeks.
Bye.